Hey guys, Kimberly Davis here. Yep, coming to you again from beautiful sunshiny Kingston, Jamaica. And I'm excited to do this video for more than one reasons. One, because I miss you guys. And two, because this is my most powerful video yet. And I want to challenge you to do two things. One, stick to the end. It's going to be a little longer than I am used to, but I promise you your breakthrough is at the end of this video. And two, is that what I share with you in this video, that's the real truth. That's the bottom line right there. I'm actually driving, so I just pull up on the side of the road. So you might hear the sound of vehicles passing, but don't let that distract you from the message of this video. Because as I said, your breakthrough is somewhere in this video and you don't know where. So I challenge you to stick with me to the end. All right. So the title of this video is The Call, the Journey, the Mission. Yeah. Powerful. The call, the journey, the mission. So I'm taking you on a journey, on my journey. Right. So about 20 years ago. Yep, I said 20 years ago. I'm not as young as I look. It's just generation young, showing up on me. About 20 years ago, I got a prophecy that the anointing of Ruth, Ruth, the character in the Bible, is on my life. Now, at that time, I was young. I didn't really know much of what that meant. And I really didn't take it for much. But at the same time, I never forgot that prophecy over my life. And that was over 20 years ago. Interesting enough, earlier this week, I started a 5-day devotional, and the theme or the main character in that devotional was Ruth, and I delved into it. I did my devotionals each morning, and I was blessed each morning. But on the final day of the devotional, which was about 2 days ago, yes, we spoke of Ruth, but the main part of it, or the theme of that particular day, was purpose. And I'm going to share with you the devotional, and I'm also going to share with you my journey. All right. So this is what the devotional said to me. And the topic is purpose. Although this process might seem slow, especially if you're in the middle of it, it will be worth it. Reflecting on Ruth again, she sure knew how long-suffering felt. She could have given up at so many points, so many bumps in the road, but she didn't. She persevered and experienced grace, restoration, and healing. In the process, God was working out her purpose, and on the other side, she experienced such an incredible blessing. Ruth was not too far gone, and neither are you. Broken can be restored. Sorrow can turn to joy. Empty can be filled. Worthless can be valued. Not good enough can be desired. And ashamed can fade, and confidence can arise. God has plans for you regardless of your choices, your upbringing, your culture, your treatment, and projected image of who you are. Because God sees his child when he looks at you and sees someone of immense value. With this value comes purpose. Remember, that's what we're talking about, purpose. Furthermore, your dreams matter to God. He has put something inside of you, a seed of sorts, that he wants to nurture through your pain and long suffering and birth at a very specific time. So, step into what God has done and is doing in your life and live the purpose you are called to live. Now, I read that and I just broke down. Now, this is 20 years ago that seemed to all of a sudden be falling into place for me. Yes? And so, I mean, that right there, just that In the moment, it felt like the puzzle. I found the missing puzzle that I've been looking for so long. Now, after all these years, I felt like I now have to go and make peace with that prophecy and know what God is saying and confirming for me for such a time as this. And as I read the devotional, it seemed as if everything finally fell into place for me. It took me back about 5 years. For the last 5 years has been totally just insane for me. All the things that could have gone wrong did go wrong. At least that's what I thought. And I want you to follow me and follow the message. Financial meltdown, fallouts, failed businesses, making many mistakes, issues outstanding for what seemed like forever. And I know as I'm speaking, I'm ministering to you. I know that you are probably at a place now where you feel like giving up. Hold on, we're talking about purpose. You name it, I've been there. The sadness, the loneliness, the regret, the depression, the pain. I know I've been there. But no, in that moment, but God, in just that moment of a revelation and clarity, everything came together for me. I have to go through it to tell it. I have to make it through, not for me, but for the hundreds and thousands of people who are waiting on me and my story for their breakthrough. So when we're talking about purpose, we're talking about going through, we're talking about not giving up, we're talking about holding on, because there is purpose in your pain, there's purpose in your suffering, there's purpose in your testing. So I started smiling as the revelation came that I must make it. I must make it through. I have no choice but to make it through. God knew this before he formed me. Yeah, before he created me. He knows my beginning and he knows my end. Every day of my life is already written. Every day of your life is already written. That was like the word became flesh in that moment for me. I don't have a choice but to succeed, but to be great, but to lead, but to motivate, but to help millions of people create an abundant life, but to answer the call, but to trust God. I don't have a choice. And you don't have a choice either. Can I tell you, we're in this together? I could never understand rather, why all the people I could depend on all of a sudden became most unreliable. The friends became friendless. My circle collapsed. I never got it. No, it's like one of those aha moments. But it took me over 20 years to get it. Oh my God, over 20 years. And it finally feels like, oh, it was all worth it. I always knew I had a passion to help, to serve, to motivate, to encourage. But at the same time, I've had so much turmoil over the past 5 years that I told myself that I was not qualified to lead. I have too many issues. I did not feel qualified. And I know that because of the situations and the circumstances, there are those watching, there are those judging, and I felt crippled by just the judgment of others, the naysayers. And I just could not move ahead. It doesn't matter how hard I tried. It doesn't matter how many things I tried. I failed. I failed. It just did not come together for me until I read that devotional that morning, and everything, as I said, fell into place. Until now, guess what? I'm giving myself permission to soar. I'm giving myself permission to live, permission to be. I'm giving myself permission to be more, to have more, to become more, to succeed. I'm giving myself permission. Everything that I have been through has brought me to now, where I am still pushing. I'm still seeking to become more. Do I regret the journey? No, I don't regret the journey, because it has taught me so many lessons. Would I change anything about it? I can't. So I wouldn't even go there. Did it take me a long time to get the lessons? Yes. It took me over 20 years to get this one, to walk into, to allow this prophecy to become flesh in my life. It took me over 20 years. And as I was going through, I did not, you have to get this. I didn't even know that I can't fail because God's got me. I did not know that I can't fail because God's got me. I just knew that in spite of everything, I had to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. I kept going because somewhere in the back of my head, I knew that people were watching and expecting me to be strong, to be committed, to be there. I've always had the will to win. And as I'm talking to you, I know I'm ministering to you at this point. I know that I must win. That's all I knew. And as I went through that and I studied Ruth and understood more, I am now appreciating where I am and where I am going, because guess what? When I had to go and read up about Ruth, and Ruth was faithful. She was submissive. She was fearless. She was committed. She was a risk taker. She was an attention grabber. She was a protector of those she loved, a hard worker. She was a beautiful girl, a caregiver. She was confident, positive, and she was encouraging. But leading her to who she was, she lost her family, the death of her husband. And after that, Naomi, for those of you who know that story, Naomi and her two daughters left for a new place, a new land, went back, tried to go to a new place, and she stopped as they started the journey, she stopped and she gave them the escape route. She said, guys, listen, I have lost everything. You have the chance to start over. You have the chance to stay here and make a life for yourself. One person took the escape route, but Ruth did not. Ruth is not a quitter. I am not a quitter. You are not a quitter. Right? So Ruth stayed with Naomi and she went to a new place, to a foreign land, to an unfamiliar place. She was looking for adventure. She wanted a fresh start. She wanted new beginning. Are you at that place where you're looking for a fresh start? Where you have no choice but to start over? Where you know that there is adventure, there is more for you to go after? Ruth was faithful in her work. She showed up every day. Are you showing up in your own life each day? Or are you just going through the motion? What are you doing? When there was a party, when there was a session, she dressed up, she showed up, and guess what? She even asked for what she wanted. Are you requesting what you want from your situations, from life? And guess what? She found favor with the king. She found favor with the king, and she was able to ask for what she wanted, and she got what she wanted. I don't know where you are in your life right now. You may be broken, you may be torn, you may be angry, you may have lost, you may have gone through so much, and you are at that point now where you're saying you can't go, you can't do anymore, you are done. I'm here to tell you that is certainly not the truth. That's not your truth, and it's about time you step up, rise up, and start walking in your truth. You are fearless. You are more than a conqueror. You are an overcomer. You are victorious, and you start telling yourself who God says you are. and not listen to the naysayers and the negatives around you, and walk and step into the power that you have. My final thought is this: it doesn't matter your journey. What matters is that your end is already sealed. And I will say that again. It doesn't matter the journey, but your end is already sealed. So whatever you're going through, God already has it all worked out for you, but you have to stay the course. Whatever you've started and you feel like quitting, there is no way that you can have success if you quit. You have to stay in the race, and you have to be patient, and you have to stay the course, run the course. I don't know where you are in your life right now, but I want to challenge you that you are more than you think you are. I want to challenge you that there is so much, there is such a big world, there is so much out there for you, but you have to stay in the game. You have to stay in the race. I want to challenge you today to rise up. I want to challenge you and remind you that there is a purpose for your life. I want to challenge you and remind you that you are not here by accident. I want to challenge and remind you that there is great work for you to do. I get it. I get it now. Can I tell you, I get it now. And I know that in spite of where I have been, in spite of where I am, that's not where God says I will be. But I have to go through the course. I have to stay on course, and I have to finish the race. Finish your race. I challenge you this minute, this second, to finish your race, whatever you started, and you're telling yourself that you can't. I want you to stand and look in that mirror and say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, because you're not doing it in your strength. You're doing it in the strength of God, who created you and who formed you and who made you. I challenge you. I challenge you. So, that's a lot. So, I am ready to step out. I'm ready to launch out. And I want you to do two things for me. One is that I want you to comment on this video. And if there was at least one thing that resonated with you, I want you to be bold enough to share it with the world. I want you to be bold enough to declare it and send it out there in the atmosphere, because someone is waiting on your word for their breakthrough. And the second thing I want you to do, I want you to write down these 4 questions and answer them as you write them and as you ask yourself. The first question is this: who am I? Who are you? Answer that question. The second question is, what do I want? And you're asking yourself these questions. What do I want? What do you want? The third question is, what is my purpose? What is your purpose? Why are you here? And finally, what am I grateful for? What are you grateful for today? I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for this opportunity to pour into you and to bless you and to encourage you. I'm grateful that my family is in good health. I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful that I lived long enough to walk, to allow my prophecy to become flesh. I'm grateful for the opportunity to transform lives globally. And I want you to comment and share and let this word seep into your spirit, into your DNA. And I want you to understand that everything that you do from now, every chapter that you write, every sentence that you write, you are in control of that sentence. You are in control of that chapter. And I challenge you to make that chapter a great chapter. I challenge you that every single person that you come in contact with, you have the pen in your hand to write an amazing chapter, forgetting the former things, letting go of the negatives of the past, letting go of all the mistakes that you have made, letting go of all the opportunities that you have missed, and oh my God, let every person that you come in contact with, whether by phone or in person, write a great chapter. Because the next chapter of your life, I'm telling you, the next chapter of your life will be the best chapter of your life, but you have to write it and you have to make it great. Oh my God, you have to write it and you have to make it great. I don't know if you can feel the burden that's in my belly even now as I share with you. I did not plan for this video to be so long, but I tell you, it's time to rise up. Many thousands of lives are depending on you to rise up, to stand up and be the leader that you're called to be. Rise to the occasion. No one can stop you, only you can stop yourself. So thank you for spending, I did not expect for this video to be so long, but it was. And I thank you for sticking to the end. I applaud you and I say congratulations. You are now ready to write your next chapter. Make it great. I bless you, I love you, and I encourage you. Stay the course. Stay the course. Stay the course. Be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your day.